You know, when you have all three of those together, you're in for an exciting bass fishing adventure, only if you're fishing areas of pads that are far more likely to attract bass than others. So, in the next few minutes, I'd like for you to join me as we fish one distinct form of aquatic growth that covers the surface like a green carpet, called lily pads. Now, we're going to be casting out some techniques and tips that'll help you in your search for bass below and around this emergent vegetation. The plastic worm rig weightless and the popular spoon, but perhaps the most popular and my most productive would be the frog, like the one we're going to be using today. It's called a Bass Pro Shop popping frog and made of a durable material that floats high and is extremely weedless and has unbelievable action over open water areas. Take this one here. It can be used as a topwater, fishing in places no other topwater can be fished, such as holes and in openings in the padded areas, in and out of treetops, and even in openings behind and between cover. What you doing? There it is. There's a little rascal. Howdy. Okay. Let's go home. A couple of presentations over cover I use is a twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, or a twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, twitch. Now keep in mind that all strikes won't be breathtaking explosions. Many will appear to be like a giant bluegill strike. Now anytime you're fishing, it's smart to always be observant, but especially when you're fishing vegetation. Now bass are here, but not everywhere. You want to look and listen carefully for feeding fish. Watch out for bait fish movement. These are good signs. Another indication that an area like this is alive and active is by being aware of bird traffic, such as heron, cranes, kingfishers feeding on bait fish, and small birds like red-winged blackbirds that feed on insects, worms, and small freshwater shrimp. Normally, the older the mass of cover becomes, the more food will be present. Birds can be a key to finding some ideal locations in a padded area. Some big one. I thought you was a hog when you hit that thing, boy. Easy. Those hooks just pop out just as nice as you please. See that dude? That little point right there. There one is. There's a good one right there. Had one of these little outcroppings like that. Pretty thing. Hang on for me. Where have you got it? There it is. Come on, Buster. A minute ago, we mentioned where congregations of bass gravitate to. Okay, now let's look at another key feature in an area of pads that hold bass. Now I realize you're not going to find all these features in one area. All I'm doing here is to show you high percentage areas or spots. Now at position 1 is the backside of a point that often is used by cruising bass. fish moving up and down the cover line from one spot to another. This area is usually not as good as the others shown, but it should not be overlooked. Here at position 2, this is a fringe area that's not exposed. Often bass can be caught along the submerged fringes better than in visible cover, especially during low light conditions. Work from the exposed cover out and create a slow erratic action and work over the fringes, a hole or depression in the pads, right there at position 3. Now, position your boat in the best possible spot to fish this area. It could be a little difficult to get a hook fish out of this, so if you can work your way in, this way you won't disturb the area as much, and your chances of landing the fish is much better. Over here at position 4, it shows cover in cover. Objects such as logs, treetops, pilings, stumps, and so forth in a grass bed are super spots to catch a really big bass. Now at position 5 is where a ditch or small branch or a creek runs through this growth. This is another prime area. Fish both sides, and if you can get your boat up into it, follow it and work the edges on down the current side. At position 7, it's another backside point, similar to position 2, but this one should be better because it's closer to the feeder creek. Good one right there. I believe this is a good one right here. Tug it, boy, tug it. I'm stripping line. Tree. That's a nice one. Pop. He liked that, didn't he? Yes, she did. Get that rod out of the way. That's a good, pretty fish. Look at the coloration on that. Olive green, gold. Okay, let's go bye-bye. Woo! Boy, I'd love to see them do that. Blow a frog up. Where were we? Oh yeah, we're at position 9. Here we have a feeder creek that runs through the pads and then drops off into the main channel. This is a prime location. Bass moving up and down the channel edge and moving out to the channel. And bass moving through the pads to the creek will normally congregate here in big numbers. It should be fished many times during the day simply because migrations of shad minnows move in and out of these key locations. At position 11, a lane through the cover cut by outboard motor props is another key spot that could hold a fish or two. At position 12 is a down current point that could hold a few bass, moving up current to the pad field. Position 13 is a wider pocket with a point on each side. At position 14, this is the deepest water close to the pad area. Often a school of bass will move off the pads and out over the channel to feed. Watch for them to give their position away by chasing shad to the surface. Sometimes a single shad can give the whole school away, so be very observant. Very good. Goodness, get him out of there. Looks like you need to eat a few frogs. Boy, when they get it, they get it. Ta-da! Old bass. Looks like he needs to eat. Long and slanky. See you, boy. Well, you know, time really doesn't allow for us to discuss all there is to know about fishing this upper type of cover. But maybe we've given you enough information to get you started. Tell you what, grab yourself a few of these Bass Pro Shop frogs, hop in your truck, jump in your boat, and head for the lily pads this summer or fall and watch what happens. You're gonna be more successful before a frog can say ribbit 3 times. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.